Good morning, class. Today we will going to discuss the Unit 1 Part 3 on Network Operating System. Uh, the course code is BTCS 9504, and in this session we will discuss files, inodes and directory. And after this session you will able to understand the Linux operating system, what are the directories, files, and inodes, and what are the user group and their access permissions, and how they will work in a Linux environment by using the commands. So let's start with the directory. So every directory in the file is listed in the parent directory. In the case of root directory, that directory is a parent itself. A directory is a file that contains the table listing the files contained within it. So if there is a directory or a folder which has several various subdirectories or various subfolders in it, then it works as a table giving the file name to the inode. Inode is the index node uh, in the list. The information about all the files and the directory is maintained in the inode table. So inode is an index node which contains the information or the link to reach to the every other files in the directory. So an inode is an entry in the table containing information about all the files, including their permission, their UID, GID, their size, and their timestamp, their pointer to the files, everything. So by using inode, index node, you can reach to the a particular file in the directory. In Unix and the Linux environment, there is a concept of user and associated group. uh, every directory and every file have three options: the owner, the group, and the all other users. We will look very soon. The system determines whether or not a user or group can access a file or a program based on the permission assigned to them. So whether the user or the group has the read permissions or the write permission or the execution permission, based on the permissions they have, they can perform their operations. Apart from all the users, there is always a special user which is called the super user or the root root user, which has a permission to access all the files in the directory. So whenever we have to do changes in the configuration files or the system files, then we have to execute those commands by first signing in as a super user. After that, you will see the access permission. So every file and the directory has the access permissions, and the following lists the symbol used to denote the permissions. The R denote the particular group, user, or the owner can read the file. W indicates the given category of user can write to a file, or X indicates that the particular category of a user can execute that particular file. So this permissions can be given, modified, or this can be updated. So if you are adding some permission, then you are using the plus sign plus RWX, or other, or you are updating or removing the permissions, then you are using the minus sign in the command line. So in the command line we will see very soon. So each of these permissions are assigned to the defined category of the user. So these categories are the owner, group, and others. The owner of the file of the application, the group that owns the particular file or application, and others, the all other users of the system. So one can easily view the permission of a particular file by invoking the long format. You just open the terminal by Control Alt T and then type the ls dash l space your file name. You will see the permission which you have for that file. For instance, if you have a user and you create an executable file, the name of the file is test, and the output of that command ls-l and space name of the file test, it would be like this. This is the dash rwx rwx r dash s and the name of the user student 0 September 26, like this you will get the output like this. So this rwx combination, the there are the 9 rwx which shows the first three shows the permission uh, of the owner. Second RWX combination shows the permission of the group, and the last three RWX combination are give the permission for the all other users. This list indicates that the file is readable, writable, or executable by the user who owns the file. Right? For example, if you are the owner and you have the RWX uh, permission of the 777, that means the owner can read, write, and execute that particular file. Same for the group and same for the all the rest of the user who have the permission. According to that permission, they can read, write, and execute that particular file. In the previous case, the file is also the readable and executable, but not the writable for the rest of the users. If you see, uh, ls is used to list the content of the directory. So if you go into the particular directory and open the terminal and type the ls, then all the files and the directory available in that directory will come on your terminal. If the command is command ls is written with the parameter dash l, then the command lists contents of the working directory with the details. So we will see with the running example. If you want to moving in the directory, then there are the several commands like cd is the most popular one, which is denote the change directory. So if you type cd and go into the name of the file or name of the directory, then it will move to the that particular directory. So present working directory is the pwd, which gives the path in which currently you are. And if you type the cd dot, it's moved to the superior directory. For example, if you are in a present working directory is a print slash home and slash smith, and you type the cd dot, then it will move you to the print slash home. And cd space will give you to the home directory. If you type cd space and press enter, then it will reach you to the directly to the home directory. You can create the directory via terminal by typing the mkdir and the name of the directory which you want to create. And by rmdir command, you can remove that particular directory. You can copy the one file to the another by using the cp command, and the use of the cp command is like this: cp file1 space file2. So it will copy the content of file1 into the file2. You can rename the file by using the command mv. If you type mv file1 space file2, then all the file1 will saved with the name of file2, and the file1 will be removed. So the command, if you want to remove the particular file, then you can use the command rm and the name of the particular file. So if you want to delete a particular file which it start with a character H and end with a character C, then you can use the wildcard rm space H star C. So it will search for all the files which start with a H character and end with a C character and delete that file. If you write rm star, then it will erase all the file from your working directory. So if we move forward the access permission of a file and directory, as we know there are the three types of owners or users of the particular directory. They are the first is the owner, second is the group, and third is the user. So you can change the permission by using the command chown count owner and the file and the directory name. You can use the change group directly to change using the command either chgrp group and the file slash directory name. The permission of the file can be changed using the chmod for the users, chmod dash r and the file name or the directory. The dash r capital R is an optional, but when you use it, the change will be persistent with all the subdirectories and all the files in the main directory. These are the values with the mm, zero denotes to nothing. If you give the zero value, then the instead of r, then the user doesn't have the read permission. If you give the 1 execute, 2 write, 3 execute write, 4 denotes the read, 5 denotes the execute read, 6 denotes the read write, and 7 denotes the execute read write. So now we will see in the terminal how this command will work. So we see the command working in the terminal. You have to type the Control Alt T and the terminal will open. And after the terminal is open, what you have to do, there are the few commands which we discussed in the PPT. The first is the CD, which is used to change the directory, and the second is the PWD, which is the present working directory, which gives the path of the current working directory. When you type the PWD, it will give the current location where you are. And let's suppose if you change the directory and goes to the desktop, and in the desktop uh, you goes to the network OS directory. In the network OS directory, you want to list all the files and the directory available in the network OS. So you type the ls. So there are the two files are there. One is the first.sh file and second is the second.txt file, right? So if you want to check the permissions of that file, uh, which can be checked by the ls dash l and the name of the file. So you will see there are the 9 rwx combinations are here. The first three will give the read and write permission to the owner. Second r use group of the group which can have the which have only the read permission, and the rest of the user only have the read permission, not the write and execute permission. In the same way, you can do the you can create the directory by using the mkdir command, and let's say the os. So it will create the directory with the name os, and if you want to go into the os, you just type the cd and the name of the directory. And when you type the present working directory, it will give the path of that present working directory. And cd dot dot just reaches you to the one prior directory, and when you type the cd space, then it will you move to the directly home directory. Then again I want to go into the network OS directory. In that, what you can do, you can remove the directory by rmdir command and name of the directory OS. Now if you check that the particular OS name directory was deleted. In the same way, you can rename by using the command mv, and the second.txt file I want to rename it with a third.txt, and when you check with the ls, the second.txt file was deleted and it renamed with the third.txt file. In the same way, there are the chmod chmod command. If I want to check the uh, check the permissions which have this command third.txt, it has only the read, permission to the user. If I want to change it, then I have to type the chmod plus I give the read permission, write permission, and execution permission by giving all the values 7 and the name of the file. After that, again when I use this command, it will give the read, write, and execute permission. In the same way, you can use all other commands. Like if I want to copy the content of third.txt in the other file, then you can use the cp command. So you will see the fourth is created and it has the same content which has the third.txt file. So by this you can try by your own, and there are a lot of other commands uh, in the uh, which you can explore in the Linux environment. So you will see the how these commands are working in the terminal, and if you have any query, you can put your query on the Slack channel, or you can put your queries on the MS Team, or you can contact me via mail using the mail ID of ankit.kumar @ galgodiasuniversity.edu.in. So thank you for your attention. We will start with a new topic in the next session. Thank you, class.